I got nothing new. Cody's got nothing new besides the one that we promised we were going to do this week. So I went ahead and knocked that out. Alice in Borderlands season, what is this, 4? Season 3. Cody's been waiting a whole week. Before we get into this conversation, I need to know one thing real quick. Was the reason that she wanted to go back to purgatory because of her father? She wanted to find her father?
No. She just wanted that feeling to see him again. That's the only reason, just to constantly have that feeling. Not even to see him, it's a feeling of it.
Okay.
That's what I remember seeing.
Okay. All right. Then Cody's been waiting a whole week. I just needed some clarification on that because I got 3 major problems with this season. And we'll obviously get into it. And I mean major problems. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I will let Cody get into it first. He's been waiting a week. Go ahead, Cody. What do you think?
So you watched it, right, Justin?
No.
Damn.
I don't think
well, damn, because I really should refresh her, but I think I'm good. I remember going into this thinking, this is new. Let's just go into this understanding that they're doing their own original take on this. They're adding to the story that was done. So with that being said, the original show, we already know how we feel about that. So everything else, we're blaming them. At first, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. It's obvious, right? We're just going to find a way to get them back into it. We're going to use the Joker. We're going to explain what it all is. And we're going to add some type of plot to make it make sense. And I feel like they failed in all of those ways because there was no reason for anybody to go back. And the reason, like you said, we started off, the reason for her even going back was dumb in itself because she has a family. She's married for 5 years now. They said they were together for 5 years. They got put a kid on the way. She didn't know of.
She didn't know of.
She didn't know? Oh, that's even worse.
No, they didn't know that. No, she didn't know she was pregnant. Yeah.
They got a kid on the way. So everything in her life is going good. She knows about the other place. And it's not completely, but she's having like that. She was having memories of it. And then obviously they just kept doing the dreams of her dad, which was weird and was unexplained to some extent because they didn't explain why she kept having that dream. They just explained that she kept having the dream and she wanted it to never stop. And then we have old boy in the wheelchair. And if I knew his name, I would be saying it, but
something Ryujin?
Something like that. But I'm going to call him wheelchair for now because
I'll bring it up.
I did not like the fact that this whole season is just basically about him wanting to find out where they were because he's fascinated with the whole afterlife and the in-between, and he just wants to know. That's okay. But to the fact that you're willing to like throw everything away and then I don't want to skip to the ending, but I'm gonna touch on that later because that pissed me off too.
Yeah. Let's wait a minute on that. Yeah. Okay.
You can go because I'm a rant for sure.
Okay. Let me get these 3 major reasons out. First one, obviously, we just talked about it. Cody talked about it. The reason for how our main characters ended up in Borderlands again just did not work. Like I said, I was confused. Like you wanted to see your dad again, but I guess it was her feeling of seeing the dad. And to a small extent, I get it. But 5 years with your husband, it's time to move on. I guess she wanted her dad to tell her it's okay to move on, live your life, go continue. She wanted some closure there. Fine, I guess you could say that. But to me, it just did not work, though. I did. Major plot point right there that I just did not like. Number 2, our antagonist throughout the entire season was presumably this Joker, this guy that we're seeing throughout the entire season, right? And he's a citizen from the last season, and him and another dude decided to stay behind and become citizens of Borderlands. Cool, I like that point in last season. They wanted to stay. It made sense for them to stay. Now he's a major focal point for this season, and he's the reason that he recruited, his name was Ryuji, to bring in our main characters back into Borderlands. For what reason did he want him back? It doesn't make any sense to me. You wanted to be a citizen, do your Joker's thing, play your games with other people in Purgatory. Why do you need him for? You never even met him in season 1, throughout the last 2 seasons. You never met him. You just knew that he was the guy that beat the games or whatever. So that, like, whatever. You want to call it boredom? That's stupid. That's boring. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't want to hear that argument. So fuck that one. And then number 3. This motherfucker was a major character throughout the entire season, Ryuji.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole thing was that he wanted to see the afterlife. Go see the fucking afterlife then. Go see the afterlife then. What do you need to fucking go into Borderlands and then go die? That doesn't just do it. Just, insane
God.
to me. And throughout the entire season, he's flirting with this idea of like taking her out and stuff. Well, let me say her name right because fuck man,
it was
Usagi and Arisu.
Yeah.
Okay, he had a task to take out Usagi so that Arisu could become permanent. Like I said, fuck that. That doesn't even make any sense. But his whole job was to take out Usagi, and he would get his answers to the afterlife on who exactly his death is and all that shit. And to me, that didn't make any fucking sense. Just do it. Just do your deed. Go into the afterlife and see what's in the afterlife. Like, why do you need to take other people with you? Why do you need to do all this? So that made no sense. And then this motherfucker was him. And I came off mic and I told Cody, this motherfucker was him. He's in a wheelchair, okay? And he's playing these death games, bro. And the first time we see him playing these death games, it's with like this fucking VR shit that we've all seen where people are swiping at the fucking light beams coming at you. You see that shit? That's what this shit was, and it was fucking lightsabers coming at you. He was dodging them motherfuckers, rolling them motherfuckers, using people to get it in front of him. I said, oh shit, like this motherfucker was, how? You're in a wheelchair doing this type of shit. That's kind of wild to me. Second game that this motherfucker plays was on the train that I just bought no fucking... He's in a wheelchair. They have to jump to another train. Literally moving trains, okay? And they're fucking far. You know how subways work. They're far apart. This motherfucker got the strength, and obviously they do have strength like that. But the fucking handles are in the middle of the train car. So he starts picking up, and he starts swinging, and he starts swinging, and he fucking swings and propels himself to the other fucking car. What are we doing? That did not... He should not have been able to do that shit, bro. That was crazy. So he was him throughout the entire season. This motherfucker was solving games left and right. Like, I was insane. But his motives and everything just did not make sense to me. Like, it fucking crazy. And then the last point I'll say on him, he had a chance to take out Usagi with the gun that he was given, and he decided not to. Like, at the near the very end of the season finale, he decided not to. But then all of a sudden, shit goes down, and they're getting swept away in this flood, and Usagi's holding on for dear life, and it looks like she's going to make it, and he's like, nah, come on, we're going to die now together. Like, what just happened? You just determined not to kill her. Now, all of a sudden, you switched it up and said, nah, we're going to die together now and go into the afterlife. So this season was just a big disappointment for three contributing factors: how they ended up there, why they ended up there, and a major character. Like, I think I'm at a 4, maybe even a 3 with this season. It was so insane. Cody, if you want to talk about anything else before we get into this burning question that I've had since season 1, go ahead.
Yeah, so him wanting our main character to be back there made no sense at all, because one, he should know that they chose at the end of the first 2 or at the end of season 2, they chose, you want to stay or leave. He chose to leave. So why the fuck would he want to be a citizen all of a sudden? Clearly he doesn't. So you trying to bring him back and you're using his wife to do that, which obviously that makes sense, but they had to throw in a dumb reason to bring her back, and it just did not make sense that he told you no, and you just said, fuck it, we're going to keep thugging it out. And then it got to the point where, oh, well, now he doesn't want to do it. All right, I'm going to kill him. And then we got a person above him that takes him out. I should have got some. I'm going to get somebody else, wherever he said. Like, what are we doing? Like, at this point, we're just throwing things out. They're not even trying to make anything good. They're just throwing stuff out, regardless of if it makes sense or if it works. And it was just so bad to me. And then, like you said, I'm calling him Wheelchair. I don't care about his name. His character was just like, why? You have this guilt because you ended up killing one of your students, and now you're so, because you were so curious in the afterlife, and now you're even more curious because you have that guilt. Instead of you just taking your own life, you decide, oh, I'm gonna listen to them and I'm gonna take her life. And then you change your mind, like you said, and then you go back. It is like, bruh, at that point, what are we doing? It was just genuinely was so bad. It didn't make no sense. And oh my god, even up until the last game, and I don't know what your question is, so we can get into that, but Jesus Christ, it was bad.
The good parts in this, and the reason it's not like a fucking 1 or whatever, was the games were good. I did enjoy the games.
Were good.
Zombie was a cool game. The Train was a cool game. I had no issues with none of the games. Those were really cool. It's just, these major points on how they got to it just ruined everything. The plot just did not work. But the games were awesome. And I had a big reservation on how I felt about not having our main cast back, because I thought our main cast was going to come back, and they weren't. They gave us a new main cast. But you know what? I at the end of the day, I did enjoy the new main cast that we had. I thought all of them did pretty good, and I enjoyed it. And I think the dub in this season was better than previous seasons. I don't know how you feel about that one, or maybe it was the
Yeah,
same for you.
it
But I
was.
think
No, it was better.
it was better. So that was pretty cool. And they had the potential on this final flood whirlpool scene to just make it look horrible and a CGI mess, and it just didn't work. No, they did. It actually looked really good. Like I was pretty impressed with the CGI
Yeah.
and how everything looked. That shit looked.
They
pretty
used
cool.
that. They used the money they just
They
made.
used that. Yeah, they used the money right there, and it showed. So that was a pretty cool scene. So those are that's why it's not like a 2 or a 1 or anything like that. There was some good moments in here. It's just when you have these major problems with your story and your characters, it's not going to work for me. It's just not going to work. So insane. But after all of this,
Uh-huh.
oh, wait a minute. Before we get into that, they did the Squid Games thing here, and they brought a baby into the game. They brought an unborn baby into the game.
Yes.
I should say. How'd you feel about that, Cody?
First of all, because that was when we found out she was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like what the fuck? Like, you're telling me that, because like, okay, how do I even explain this? It doesn't make sense because if the baby were to die at any point, or if like, because the baby, they're only tracking with the watch, they don't have the so you're telling me you would kill the baby and then she would be alive? How would that work? It didn't make sense to me how they were gonna work that out if anything were to happen. So they just banked it off of they were gonna make it out. That's what they banked it off of?
I guess it's purgatory, so maybe you could say they could, get rid of the baby without getting rid of the mom or something. I have no idea how they were going to do that, but I was just like, damn, you guys are following the beats of Squid Games and having this.
Yeah.
And this time they decided to do an unborn baby. At least with the other one, it was a physical baby and you had to take it for the games. This just didn't work for me.
Since it's purgatory, they could have literally brought a baby in and said, "This is your baby," because they were doing the future thing with the AI. Like y'all could have did it. Come on.
Yeah. For sure.
But I was disappointed in that, and like obviously how they used it as the main characters, I was okay because obviously they're smart as hell. They made it work, but I was just like, I felt like the host of the games, the Joker, was just so stupid at times. Like I don't like the games were dope. Don't get me wrong, but I just him as a character, I felt like, what are we doing? I felt like it could have been so much better. It could have been so much better.
For sure. So yeah, there's that. Okay, but then they give us this season finale, or this grand finale that earthquakes are happening around the world, and they took another beat from Squid Games here.
Yep.
And they decided to go to, and I think it might have been Los Angeles too. I think I don't remember where. They went to America though, and we get some Americans, and they're speaking English over here, and they're talking about fucking baseball or whatever.
Yeah.
They're in a diner, and I've had this question since season 1, and it's in our last, whenever I did this, brought this up. I said, who was Alice, right? Who was Alice? Is it her? No, it's not her. Is it her? No, it's not her. So they decide to fucking turn the camera, and there's this waitress walking down, to the bar. She turns around, and her name tag is Alice. I said, these motherfuckers here, bro. I was done. I was done with this season. But now they hooked me with here's Alice, and this is the whole namesake of everything. And presumably there's going to be another season, or maybe it's going to be an American spin-off type of thing. And now we have Alice, and she's going to go to Borderlands. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. I immediately came off the mic. I said, Cody, no fucking way they just did that. No, that's crazy. About that. Yeah, that was insane to me. That was insane.
I should have yelled dead ass.
That's crazy. I thought they were just, it's just based off the story, the book of Alice in Wonderland. No, there's an actual Alice in this world, and maybe next season she shows up. And they probably are going to do another spin-off season or another season 4, whatever. But I got to watch it now for that. Crazy, that was the number one question I had. Who's Alice? And there she is. So kind of crazy. But I'm at a 3. I think I'm at a 3 on this season, bro.
I'm not mad at
it. It didn't work.
This season wasn't good, man.
Yeah, it wasn't good. So that sucks. I was excited for it too. Though there goes my argument for this is better than fucking Squid Games, because at least Squid Games.
But like I said at the beginning, I just want to make the point that they decided to go on their own and do some stupid shit. Without that, where do you have it compared to Squid Games?
I think I have this over Squid Games the first 2 seasons. I enjoyed the games. I really did. Yeah. I enjoyed, and we got to see our cast. And that was pretty cool, but they weren't there for the whole season, so that was a little disappointing. But my favorite character was Krishida, I think that's how you say his name. I don't remember. The real smart dude that played with the Jokers in the last season. He was the fucking manipulation game. He figured it out.
Yeah.
Everything. He was a fantastic character. I loved his writing and the way they wrote him, and everything. He was awesome. So yeah, I think I have this one better than Squid Games just based off of the last 2 seasons. So,
For sure. We're on the same boat.
there you go.
I was so mad after I finished that shit.
Yeah, no, Gloria didn't like it either. Like she was on her phone too, so for her to not like it either, there you go. Not yet. There you go. Alice in Borderland season 3. If you guys have seen it, definitely let us know your thoughts on it. Let us know what you guys thought about all the major plot points we talked about, and did you think it worked for you? And are you excited for your potential season 4? I'm pretty sure it's coming. So are you excited for Alice? Let us know all those thoughts down in the comments below.